Repeat the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll dive right into this. The first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. Commissioners, we have one set of meeting minutes from March 2nd, 2022.
I saw no corrections.
I did not either. I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from the March 2nd commission meeting.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Item number 2 on the agenda is Super Service Award. Tina Henrie, we'll turn the time over to you. We can postpone, and when he shows up, just give us the cue and we'll, yeah.
Gotcha.
That'll work. Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, we'll come back to item number 2. Consideration and possible approval for donation to grad spec for the Carbon High School.
Commissioners, today I am here on behalf of the committee that helps to plan grad spec. Russell and Kendra Seeley are here also as they help organize that effort. Last year, grad spec served over 400 youth during the course of that event. As far as we can tell, the grad spec has been in operation since the early 80s. We plan to continue that this year. There's a great plan in place already, and many who are involved, including the youth, in planning that. In past years, the commission has donated $500 to help support that event. And we'd like to ask for consideration of a donation of that same amount, or anything that the commission is willing to do with that regard. This year, some of the events that are planned include 3-on-3 basketball. There's a local band that will likely be opening for a Wasatch Front band. Just tons of fun things that are planned. And we anticipate that there will be as many, if not more, of our local youth who are served by this event. It will be hosted at the college this year, and we look forward to that. So.
I've seen the grad spec for years and years. I think it's a good thing. One thing about this year, if we could, we have to keep some people off the basketball hoops and slam dunking, and so we don't have anything breaking. You know, I know we have some Michael Jordans, Kobe Bryant's here, and Donovan Mitchell's, but it is a good thing, and I think it's well worth the money spent on it to have a safe environment for the youth after the graduation.
I don't know why you looked at Jeff and I when you said that, because I haven't touched a rim in years.
Yeah.
I think that it's a really good event to keep our youth from doing some crazy things on graduation night, so I'm all in favor.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we, I guess money-wise, I'm good with the 500. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, and
I'm good with 500.
participate as well.
I'll make the motion that we donate $500 to the grad spec activity this year.
And I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Seth, what do we need to get them some money? They need a...
We'll just have Jeannie fill out a claim if she can.
Okay, we don't need anything from them.
Let's talk afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Item number 4 on the agenda is open request for proposals for engineering for the Bear Fire Emergency Watershed Protection projects. Curtis, do you want to explain what's going on here?
This is for the Bear Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So here's what happened. In our request for the proposals, we said to submit them to the county, but we weren't as clear as we should have been. We should have said submit them to the clerk's office, and And so what ended up happening is one of them was submitted to me in my office, which was fine. It met the requirement of the advertisement, the request, and the other one was submitted to the clerk's office, and I didn't know they had that one, and they didn't know I had this one. And so Justin started to review the one that the clerk's office had, and then it was discovered that I have one too. And so we put them together, and we've reviewed those proposals, and the committee that reviewed it has recommended Johansson and Tuttle to perform the work. And so I guess that's my report. Is there any other questions?
I don't think any questions. I think maybe just this explanation you gave will help from our last meeting when we opened the bids and only had one, but in reality we had two.
Yes.
So both were considered and reviewed, and the one chosen based off those
Request for proposal.
requests. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know as we need a motion on this, because we had already given the approval to you and Justin to make that decision.
Sure.
And that's been made, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. It's good
Sure.
that it be read into the record. So thank you, appreciate that. Thanks.
We're back to.
Okay, I think we can move back to item number 2. Tina, we'll turn the time back over to you.
That was a long time. Somebody left their phone. Is that you? Okay, so we were just waiting for him to show up, so I'm going to go ahead and just read the experience that was shared. Vince is one of the nicest, happiest people I have ever met. Anyone who interacts with Vince will have a better day because of it. With him working right off exit 240, I can only imagine he has countless interactions with visitors to our community. If they are weary from driving, having a bad day, or any other ailment, I am sure Vince makes it better, as he does for me and countless others, as I have talked to him about. When I think of the kind of person I would want people to think about when they think about Carbon County, that person is Vince. Carbon County and everyone who visits and interacts with him are better because of him. So I will say, after I first received this review on Facebook and asked this person to send it to me to fill out the form, but after I read what an amazing person this guy is, and all of the community members that were saying, oh yeah, we know him, he's so awesome, I had to go to Taco Bell, and I very seldom eat fast food, but I had to go to Taco Bell to experience it for myself, and he is definitely amazing. And I appreciate our local community members who are visiting our places and our visitors and nominating these wonderful tourism ambassadors. So I'm happy to present this award to Vince Royal, who works at Taco Bell. So we have a certificate, and you said your favorite is Sakura, so we have you a certificate. And if you'd like to say anything, please do.
Well, thank you. First of all, I really appreciate this honor. This is truly unexpected. You know, I have a lot of customers who come through. They know me. They say, oh, Vince. But you know what it is, really? I love people. And the love that I get from the people in this town, my family, we moved here from Los Angeles. We came here, we didn't have anything. We had barely the clothes on our back. And this community has been so warm and nurturing. Sometimes we're going to Walmart, strangers, just, hey man, you guys need a ride? I'm walking the kids to school. Hey man, come on man, get in. It's cold out there. I'm telling you, this is what our experience has been in Price. And so that love that they feel, that's just me reflecting it back, really. So, you know, I really appreciate it. This is, anyone who's been through our drive-through, you know that I have fun. And I try to make your experience not just, I mean, we know it's Taco Bell. It's not, you know, what we're supposed to be eating. But if you can get a little love, if I can give you a little love or something, and you go out into the world and you share that, man, you're in a good mood. You know what? I'm doing my job. I mean, not just at Taco Bell, but in life. So I really appreciate this. Really, my team at Taco Bell, they deserve a lot of this because they make the food. If it didn't taste good, no matter what I say, so you know, this is to them. I know they have a lot of fun when they actually fight to be on my shift because yeah, we have a lot of fun. But it's all because I've had so much love from all of you. So my applause goes to all of you. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Vince.
Oh, you want to take a picture? Oh, okay. You want to be with me? Sure. You might as well. Come on.
One, two, three.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vince. Item number 5 on the agenda is open sealed bids for installation of heating at the softball tower. Tony, do you want to explain this one a little bit?
Yeah, so we have the softball clover out at the fairgrounds, and the rec usually doesn't do anything until the spring, summertime. That's when we have the co-ed leagues, the men's leagues, and we have the university as well as the school district participating now, and their seasons start a lot earlier. The high school just had a game yesterday, and the university's been playing for almost a month now, I think. So in order to kind of service and have the bathrooms open, we've talked about placing heaters in the building there. So that way that they'll be able to use the restrooms and not have to use porta potties. So at this point, we've just solicited and asked for bids for heaters systems in the restroom facility out there.
Thank you. Seth?
We've got one bid. This is from Air Temp Heating. And the total bid amount is $35,016.81.
35,016.
Okay. And what would you recommend, that we turn it over for review?
Yeah, let's review that, see what's included.
Okay, who would you like to be in on that?
Let me, Curtis and Glenna, look at that.
Perfect.
That's good.
I'll make the motion. We acknowledge the bid from Air Temp and have Tony and Curtis and Glenna review those and determine if it's, and make an award if you want.
Okay. I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Item number 6 on the agenda is open sealed bids for a storage shed for Carbon County Rec. Tony, we'll turn the time back to you.
Yeah, so on this one, we have a lot of different activities out there at the event center. We have junior jazz, we have volleyball, we have batting cages, and a lot of the equipment is kind of, well, the 3D archery as well in the wintertime. So a lot of the equipment gets either stashed in a corner, kind of in the hallways. We've had the basketball hoops outside. So we're looking for basically a storage area for the out of season items, so they can be stored safely and not get damaged or weather rotten. So we just asked for quotes on this as well to kind of curtail some of that.
Perfect. Seth?
2 bids.
Okay.
This one's from Flawless Sheeting. Total bid amount is $28,169.80. This bid's from J How Company. May have said that wrong. Let me see here. Looks like the
Excuse me.
bid amount is $9,471. Yeah, and I think it's hard for me to tell what it says here. I think it is actually J. Hanco, James Hansen.
Seems to be a large disparity between the two quotes. I think it would be good to look them over and make sure that.
Probably Curtis, Glenn, and I.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make the motion. We acknowledge the bids from Flawless Sheeting and J. Hanco, is that what it was? And have Tony and Curtis and Glenna review those and award.
Okay, I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Item number 7 is review and possible award of materials bid for manhole materials for Ridge Road Sewer Line Project. Commissioner Jensen, do you want to explain that a little bit?
Yeah, and actually Curtis, and we've got Jones and DeMille here as well. Come on up. Maybe a little overview. We have received money from the federal government in what's called ARPA funds, and those funds, if we were not going to use them directly for COVID issues that have happened within the county, we could use them for water and sewer projects. And so we've chosen to spend a large sum of money on a sewer project. Jones and DeMille engineered this project, and we've reached a point where we just need to move forward with the project, and we're aware now that manhole materials and pipe take a long time to get. And with that in mind, we decided as a county to actually purchase those materials as a county. So with that in mind, you two take it over.
Yeah, so I'm here representing our engineers out of Roosevelt, the design engineers on this. My understanding is they submitted out for proposals for several different suppliers. On the manholes, I believe it was Oldcastle that has provided their numbers, and then, well, the next bit, I guess the next one is the next item on the agenda, so just on the manholes, so the Oldcastle is one to provide it. Some of the other companies are just way out in the distance to get even manholes at this point. So,
As much as 18 months?
Like 18 weeks.
Yeah,
Or 18 weeks, 18 months, 18 weeks, which could push us right out of this construction season this fall. So.
Okay, so tell us what we ended up with.
I printed the wrong email. I'm in trouble. We'll see if we can see
We'll
who finds
vamp a
it
little
first.
bit for you.
Hang on.
So the
Well, I guess the bottom line is that we just received one bid from Oldcastle
on the manholes.
on the manholes. There's 2 suppliers. Geneva Pipe as the other supplier, and we had conversations with them right up till the bid date, and they did not turn a bid in. So we just have the one bid.
Correct.
And do we have a total?
That's what I'm trying to find.
Okay.
I printed what I thought was the email that had that information in it, and now I'm scrambling.
I will say.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
It's $120,000 or something.
Here's the Oldcastle one. Let me get to the bottom of it. They put together a really good proposal. The bid from Oldcastle is for $120,171.73. And
I believe they do not have taxes on that.
Taxes are not on that.
Taxes were not included in that number.
That's right.
So they would need to add that.
Yeah, so the other thing, we had asked them not to include tax, but we were told that if the pipe and materials we're purchasing are installed by a contractor and not the county, that we would have to pay the sales tax. So sales tax will be added to that amount in the end.
Okay.
I'll make the motion that we accept the bid from Old Castle. And they've already been reviewed. These bids were turned in a little over a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had time to review them, and we had already approved reviewing and awarding these contracts, but I thought it would be good to bring it here and make it public.
Yep.
So I'll make the motion we approve purchasing materials from Old Castle.
And I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Thank you. Item number 8, going to the next agenda item, review and possible award of materials for 18-inch sewer pipe for Ridge Road Sewer Project.
Yeah, so on this one, there were more suppliers that had responded on this one. Peterson Plumbing, Ferguson, Mountain Land, H.D. Fowler, Southwest Plumbing Supply all submitted bids in, with Peterson Plumbing the low bidder with a total of, I believe it's
$234,441.90.
And all of the bids were relatively close in price.
They really were. The bid price ranged per foot from $21.89 per foot given by Peterson Plumbing to $23.133 feet per foot by Southwest Plumbing. So they were pretty close.
Okay.
I also might mention that there was a great effort made to contact all suppliers that could supply this pipe. We did this a little out of norm with our bidding, hoping to get in the queue with these suppliers so these materials could get to us as soon as possible. And even at that, we're going to be the end of the summer before we're putting pipe in the ground.
Yeah.
So.
And these dollars, are these the ARPA or the Build Back?
ARPA.
Okay, so they are federal dollars. And just, if I could real quick, when we were first hearing about the federal dollars that were coming our way, we didn't want them. And we talked about how do we return them, not take them. Kids are going to have to pay for it. Grandkids are going to have to be paying for it. We were told that take it or another state, another county will get that. So we decided that the best investment of this is to the infrastructure of our county. And so this is part of that. And it makes a lot of sense to us to put those dollars in those areas that are needed.
And this project will open up the Ridge Road area for industrial development. Right now, if someone came in and wanted to put a facility out there, we probably would have to say, yeah, you're welcome, but it's going to cost you $1.5 million to get to the sewer. And this will put it closer, making it much more economical for someone to choose coming here. So I'll make the motion that we accept the bids for the 18-inch sewer pipe from Peterson Plumbing Supply.
We have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is approved. Thank you.
So there's contracts on the purchase that Jeannie has will get signed after the meeting, and then they can move forward.
Okay, item number 9, consideration of possible approval to changes to the tourism co-op grant application deadline. Mayor Peterman.
Hello. So we are trying hard to standardize the grant program that the Tax Advisory Board makes recommendations on, and pretty much have looked to fall in line to a set time schedule to have grants submitted. because we're missing out on end-of-year grants, our end-of-year activities not being sponsored because we have distributed all of the funds. So we're trying to establish a time range, January 1st through March 31st, to accept applications for funding. And then this year is kind of a hiccup year, but we have included a clause that allows the commission to entertain an application outside of that cycle if it's a brand new event that was not on the radar for the year. So there is an accommodation in the event of something like that, but it just standardizes what we're doing, and I think it'll make it a stronger process going forward.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we approve the changes to the tourism and co-op grant application deadline.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mayor.
Item number 10, consideration and possible approval of Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant, HMEP. You don't look like Justin Needles, but we'll take you anyway.
I appear for Justin Needles. He's at that conference in Moab today. So this is the HMEP grant. It's a $4,000 grant with $3,200 federal share with $800 of the county share. And the hazmat team uses this grant to send the hazmat team to the Public Safety Summit. So he said nothing has changed with it from the past, and that's what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't have any problem with this. Seems like the sheriff and emergency service group has been very thrifty and thoughtful and conscientious on what they're doing, so I think it's a good thing. So
I'll make the motion then that we approve the Hazardous Materials Emergency Preparedness Grant.
And I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 11, ratification of the Carbon County commitment of match funds for Aviation Campus Workforce Development Build Back Better grant application. Commissioners, I'll take this for just a second. As you're aware, Carbon County put in a regional application with Emory County, as well as UAMI and some other organizations. Part of that application, or Carbon County's portion of that application, is to build out the aviation campus here in Price, Utah. We currently have the flight program where they're training new pilots. This would add the AMP, or the mechanics side of that, and bring additional students to our area. The advantage to us in our area is the mechanics side of that. They would be training on turbine engines, and that translates to some of our power plant jobs and some of the other industries in our community. So it's not just training airplane mechanics, but it's also training mechanics that can work in some of the industries in our community. Each portion of this grant, there were I want to say 7 components to our regional application. Our component to this regional application comes with a match. Each one of those has to be matched, and so this letter is a letter of commitment for $1,376,537. We have worked with the university, and they are trying to and are confident that they can come up with a match. We have Greg Dart, who's over the local campus here, and they have committed to try and come up with all of, or at least some of those funds to help pay for the county's match. They see the value in this. Greg, if you would like to speak, you're more than welcome to. Please.
Thank you. I'm Greg Dart with Utah State University Eastern, and this is a program that we are very excited to be partnering with the county and with all the applicants for that Build Back Better grant. Aviation has been a great addition, but this the biggest challenge has been facility as we look at expansion. We now have a 2-year flight program. We're looking at potentially a 4-year flight program as well as the mechanic program. We were kind of came into this a little bit late as far as providing the match here, but it is something we are committed to as a university, and we think before any dollars are spent that we would be able to provide that entire match. Basically, if the county provides it, we'd be paying for it in lease payments anyway, and it probably just makes more sense for us to do it up front, and that's our intention.
Thank you. Do we have any questions?
I think there was a video that was sent out today, too. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, there was a video from the governor thanking all the people who put so much work into this. This grant application was due the 15th, and we made it by minutes and hours, and we're thrilled to. But Governor Cox is very supportive in what's going on, and we have support from throughout the state, even though most of the benefit is happening in this region of the state.
Thank you, appreciate it. So what we're asking for, so this letter, as was stated, had to be turned in prior to this meeting, so we're asking for ratification of the letter of commitment for match funds.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that we ratify the Carbon County commitment of matching funds for the Aviation Campus Workforce Development Build Back Better grant application.
I second that.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. We're excited about the prospects. From my understanding, we're the only rural application that was being considered of the hundreds that applied in round one. So I'm hoping that bodes well for us, and there's a lot of conversation and talk about how we made it so far in the application process, and the regional work that's going on in our area. So we're excited about the prospects. So thank you again, Greg. Item number 12, consideration possible approval of settlement agreement with Oman Properties LTD for outstanding real property taxes pursuant to UCA 59-2-1347 with possible closed session. Lynn, do you want to explain this a little bit?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Oman Properties has filed a settlement agreement pursuant to this Utah Code, 59-2-1347. And this code gives the commissioners the authority to accept less than what's owed if they consider it to be in the best interest of the county. This is an agreement that is resolving a dispute that's gone back since 2017, and it originally arose over the classification of land, whether land should be greenbelt or not. At this point, Oman Properties has filed an appeal with the Utah Tax Commission regarding greenbelt for 2022 and beyond. But this agreement would settle greenbelt issues from 2017 to 2021. And we're hoping that it's anticipated that there would be time-consuming and expensive litigation if a settlement is not reached. And this is the settlement proposal that's being put forward.
Do you have any questions? Do we need to go into closed session for this?
We can only approve the agreement in an open session.
Correct.
But if there's questions regarding pending litigation, then we should move to a closed session. So it depends on if we want to discuss pending litigation issues or not.
I don't want to go to court over it.
No, I think we've spent a lot of time on this and are pretty knowledgeable of what's happening there. So.
Yeah. So if there's no, if we don't need to discuss litigation issues, we can just consider the agreement at this point and decide if we want to accept it.
Okay. Before we do that, I just want to thank all the offices that have been involved. This has been countless hours of number crunching, working back and forth. So the clerk auditor's office, the recorder's office, the treasurer's office, the attorney's office, there's been a lot of work done on this. So thank you for all the work and the guidance as we move forward.
I think the only comment that I would make for the public is that there are a lot of these parcels that do qualify for Greenbelt, and so the amount of money that has been added up over the course of this dispute is a large sum of money, but in the end, we would not end up with all of that if this goes to court. Plus, we would have the court costs. So I think it's a wise move on our part, on our resources, and everything else to settle it. And I'd be prepared to make a motion unless you've got something else.
No, I pretty much echo that as well. It has taken a lot of time. We have tried to work with the landowner and his representatives as well. So it has been, lack of a better word, taxing on all of us. And I think it's good to settle and move forward.
We have a motion.
So I'll make the motion that we approve this settlement agreement with Oman Properties Ltd. for the outstanding real property taxes pursuant to UCA 59-2-1347.
We have a motion.
I will second that motion.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is approved. Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you for